You know, most artists spend 90% of their time alone in their studio, particularly if they're doing historic paintings, which involve a lot of historic research, without a lot of feedback from others, deeply immersed in another time and place. They're not visible except through their work. And have the chance to hear an artist like Geoff, you know, to peel back the layers, and here he is, creating this wonderful stuff out of the power of his brain. And you find out that he is extremely, not only accomplished, but articulate about what he does, and not an artist. People imagine artists as being non-verbal and non-communicative. The fact is, the accomplished artists are just the opposite. They have a point of view, they're highly learned in their subject matter, and they know how to communicate what they want to say. And he's very open about that and enthusiastic, and I think he wants to share that with people. And that's an important element of what makes him unique.
You get this really nice luminosity, you know, you get these lovely luminous shadows, and that'll all get lost when you start putting paint on it unless you're very careful. You just exploit things, fortunate accidents all the time. Well, that's how I do it anyway. You know, it's a personal thing. I do mine see a certain way, and that's understood by certain people. Yeah, the sea is a very personal thing to paint, but it's a personal thing to look at as well. That accident that's happened in the sky as an accident of the brush is probably going to be worth keeping, because the ship itself is so complicated. I mean, all these things and the ropes and the details is such a complicated thing that I'll probably leave the sky pretty much plain, which is in accord with what the logbooks say the sky was like on the day. You know, the trouble is things get lost as you paint over them, and the difficult thing is to keep them rather than losing them. I mean, it is blue water stuff, but you can have too much of blue. And the challenge is always to get an interesting mix of colours in the sea. The gun ports are like on these ships, the gun ports are like a sort of calibration. And if you get those right, everything else on the ship is automatically right, because you can place exactly where absolutely everything else is, as long as you know where the gun ports are. Since I did this little sketch over here, it's been some considerable time since I finished that, but the time has come now to turn it into a bigger painting. I actually scanned this one into the computer and fiddled around with the image a little bit to give me more space on the left-hand side, which it seemed to need. So it's kind of a portrait now of HMS Victory. The moment is just before she gets involved in the thick of the Battle of Trafalgar. The question is, how would the light fall on it? Would there actually be a little slither of sunlight, or would it be shadowed by the way the light falls across these sails here, because the sun's coming from behind this mast. So that is one I will have to solve, and I haven't got around to doing it yet, by either building a model. Yeah, I've had an interesting career, painting ships in general, painting square riggers, painting ships of the Nelson's Navy. But it's very much a personal obsession. It's a personal interest that goes way, way back with me.